Hey, I'm Josh Elledge, the Chief Executive Angel at SavingsAngel.com, and welcome to the Savings Angel Show. I'm podcasting to you from my favorite hometown of Orlando, Florida. I'm an extremely busy consumer expert, money-saving advocate, syndicated newspaper columnist, and that guy that turns digital entrepreneurs into media celebrities at upmyinfluence.com. I love what I do, and I can't wait to get started on today's episode. So in order to help you save more, earn more, and live more abundantly on today's show, I'm going to be covering how to save money on moving costs, how to save money on your cell phone bill, because chances are you're spending a lot, and how to protect your personal information online. I got to tell you, I am steamed when it comes to this subject. We're going to talk about that. So if you're ready to save, you're ready to earn, and you're ready to live more abundantly, let's get going. Now, moving can cause a lot of stress, even if you aren't moving very far. Now, with all the things on your moving to-do list, you don't want to add money stress to the mix. Now, while moving can be expensive, you can reduce your moving costs by following a few simple tips and tricks. So here's how to save money on moving costs. Number one, declutter beforehand. As you're packing up boxes, think about each item you pack and whether or not you actually need it or even use it. If you don't ever use an item, moving it to your new home is a waste of time, energy, and money. The more stuff you move, the more you'll pay in moving costs such as help, fuel, space, and packing materials. Make a pile of those things you no longer need and either donate them or sell them at a yard sale or via online resale sites. Selling things brings immediate extra moving funds, but donating can save you money later and is faster than selling. Now, when deciding which way to go, remember that a tax deduction only gives you a percentage of the value by way of saved taxes that you'd get selling items outright, but the time savings when you're moving can be well worth getting a bit less out of your items. Number two, see if your employer will cover some costs. If you're moving due to a promotion or a new job, ask your employer if they can offer some relocation benefits. You may get money up front for moving costs, or the benefit could come in the form of a reimbursement. Either way, make sure you save all of your receipts. Number three, get the tax benefits. Now, some moving expenses may be tax deductible if you move for job reasons. You'll need all your receipts and professional advice for this potential benefit. Number four, find free boxes. Now, boxes may seem cheap to buy, but they add up quickly since you need so many of them to move. Now, instead of wasting a chunk of your money on boxes, see if any friends have boxes you can use. If nobody you know has any spare boxes, ask local stores if you can raid their stash of shipping boxes. You can also check out Craigslist and other online sources for people giving away moving boxes. You can ask on Facebook, for example. Now, many times, all you have to do is swing by and pick them up from the curb. Number five, ship books through media mail. Now, books can be heavy and expensive to move. To save yourself the hassle, ship as many of your books as you can with the United States Postal Service, the post office. Label the boxes as media mail. Choose that shipping option and ship them to your new address for very little cost. The boxes may take a couple weeks to get to you, but you'll save money and have fewer heavy boxes. Number six, be creative with wrapping. You need to wrap delicate and fragile items before packing them away, but the cost of packing peanuts and bubble wrap can add up fast. Instead of using those costly items, wrap your fragile belongings in things such as coffee filters, linens, newspaper, and even clothes. Yes, clothes, if you don't mind having to do some ironing later. Just don't wrap newspaper around things that are difficult to clean, as the newsprint can rub off on the items. And finally, number seven, load up your own car. The larger the moving truck you have to rent, the more money it will cost you. To minimize the truck size and space needed, load up your personal vehicle with as many of your belongings as you can. You'll also have the items you need right away in case the moving truck is delayed. So there you go. If you have to move in your near future, I hope you refer back to this list. If you want to go to savingsangel.com, you'll find an article that we recently wrote all about moving expenses and how to reduce those costs. Make sure to share this episode with a friend too, if you know of anybody that will be moving. It's good advice. Now, just in case you haven't tried Ting.com to save money on your cell phone service, my director of operations, Rachel, wanted to share a few tidbits about why she loves Ting and has been using it for the past few years. Oh, she totally dumped her big four cell phone provider, and she's saving herself a lot of money. Here's what Rachel had to say. When someone first thinks about moving their cell phone service to a new carrier, coverage is a really big consideration aside from cost. Well, according to Rachel, and she lives in a very rural area, and she said that for the 3 users in her family, Ting has been absolutely great on both. She's lived in Michigan and now in rural Tennessee and has traveled all over, and her phones have almost always worked fine. Sure, we occasionally don't have mobile data when we go high up in the mountains here in Tennessee, but that's pretty normal regardless of your carrier. One last thing that Rachel shares, whenever she has needed any answers, she can easily find them on Ting's website or call and actually talk to a human. Ting has also perfected self-service in such a way that I can also check our usage per phone anytime during the month and can even activate a new phone and deactivate an old one myself online. Now, if you truly want to save money, try Ting. I wholeheartedly endorse them. Thanks, Rachel. Now, as I mentioned it before, but I can't say this enough, Ting has been given the Savings Angel seal of approval, and if anyone wants to try it, you can get $25 off your bill or $25 off a new phone with the Ting coupon code. You got to go to this. Actually, you go to this website. You go to angel.ting.com. Once again, just make sure you have it. You go to, just pull it up in your browser right now. And also, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, if you click on the notes for this episode right in your podcast player, you'll see we'll have a link right there. Okay. You need to go to angel.ting.com. The reason we like them is you're going to save a lot of money compared to one of the big four cell phone providers. The coverage is the same. They actually use one of the four carriers for their same service, and their customer service is rated as excellent. Rachel gave us her own personal endorsement of just how great the customer service is. Listen, I want you to save a lot of money. You could potentially instantly, by checking this out, save yourself $100, $150 a month or more. Now, if you don't take action, you're proactively losing $100, $150 a month or more. I don't want that to happen to you. So play around with the little calculator that we've got all drawn up for you as well, so you can figure out just how much money you can save. Again, that's angel.ting.com.
All right, and we're here with Lisa Stryker is the communications director here at Carowinds.
Yes.
And Carowinds is about just south of Charlotte.
That's right.
Right on the border between South Carolina and North Carolina.
The border goes straight through the park.
Yeah. It's which is part of the history.
That's right.
And so can you kind of explain what Carowinds is and why it's one of the ultimate destinations if you're traveling this summer, places to stop with the family?
Absolutely. Well, our location is perfect, right in between the both of the Carolinas. The border is one of our biggest photo ops, so it's a big draw. But there's so much for everyone here. We've got so much to do. And we've really upped the ante for families this year with the addition of Camp Snoopy. We've doubled the size of our water park. The water park is always included with your ticket or season pass. Mm-hmm. So there's something to do for everyone. We've got the coasters for the thrill seekers. We've got the shows for those who just need a little rest and air conditioning and a little entertainment. Amazing food. We've got an executive chef we brought on just a few years ago.
Wow.
So there's just so much to do here. It's hard to list it all at one time.
And I'm really impressed. There's a couple of things that I want to point out that I think I was marveling at. First off, we'll start with the big one, and it's off over there, and that's Fury 325, and that means it is 325 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes it the tallest, if I'm not mistaken, tallest Giga Coaster in the world.
And fastest.
And
95 miles an hour.
Yeah, 95 miles per hour. And you can't really appreciate that until you ride it.
You just have to experience it.
Exactly. And then you realize, wait a minute, a lot of coasters are maybe at about the 60 mile per hour level.
Yeah.
And when you ride at 95 miles per hour, it is so fast.
Yeah, it's an amazing ride.
Yeah, I was blown away. So I think we thankfully came on a slower day, and we've been able to ride it 4 times.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
That's terrific.
yeah.
You can't ride it just once. You have to experience it a couple times.
Yeah, absolutely. So and riding it in the front, riding it in the back.
Right. It's a different ride.
Another thing I wanted to point out that I was really impressed with, we went to a show, and it was a Cirque show,
Yes.
and honestly, for a theme park show,
Right.
the caliber of show, I was really
Very
impressed.
Amazing cast. Yeah, it's a new show. It just debuted this year, Seasons of Cirque. This is our second Cirque show. The first one was so successful, but we've even kicked it up this year. So the acrobatics and the humor and the costuming, it's a wonderful experience. Yeah.
There's a lot going on in stage. I mean, there's a lot of performers.
So
the
much
set
to see.
design is really great.
It's beautiful.
And so there's, what I really like, and we haven't been to the water park yet, but can you kind of explain that too? I want to start talking about ticketing options, where to get good deals, and to, one thing you should understand, what you just said, Lisa, is the water park is included.
That's right. Yeah, so for starters, if you're looking for a deal, if you're going to come to the park more than once, get a season pass. They pay for themselves in less than 2 visits. So that's going to be your best deal. Then you can come and go as you please. Come for half a day and spend that time in the water park. Come another time in the evening, ride when the lines are lower and it's cooler. And ride your theme rides, your thrill rides. So it gives you a different experience every time. But no matter what you do, always buy online at Carowinds.com for the best deal.
And roughly how much are ticket prices?
It varies so much, it's hard to say with tiered pricing. So I really recommend you just go to Carowinds.com and check it out. But you brought up such a good point. It really is twice the thrills with the water park included. It's a completely other park, even though it's included in your ticketed price. It's part of the park. You go in there, we've got 26 acres of wave pools and lazy river. We added new slide complex last year. It's 6 stories tall. And it's Blackbeard's Revenge. You stand on a platform and the floor just drops out from under you and you're going down.
No, this
is
thrilling. This is a full water park. It is
absolutely a full park.
So that really is an amazing deal to get kind of 2 parks for one.
You can't beat it.
Of course, there's great dining here. There's kids everywhere. Camp Snoopy, you said is new this year. Camp Snoopy's fantastic.
Great for kids.
Your sister park, Cedar Point, we're big fans of, and so we love the Camp Snoopy. Our kids are a little older right now, but boy, we spent plenty of time at Camp Snoopy.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And you brought up dining. If folks are looking to save some money as well, we have dining plans. So again, if you're coming several times in the year, we have all-day dining, we have all-season dining, we have all-season drinks, all-day drinks. There's a lot of variety of ways that you can purchase, but if in the long run, it just saves you so much money, and it gives you the freedom. You don't feel the pressure to come and do everything in one day, which really is impossible anyway.
Well, so we loved, just to kind of recap some of the, there are, how many rides are there total? Because Fury is just like a completely unique experience. I think I would say my other favorite coaster would be Millennium Force, but this is 25 feet taller.
It's crazy. Well, we have 13 coasters in the park, but overall we have more than 60 rides and attractions.
Wow.
And then you think about the whole water park, so there's just tons to do. For kids, for older folks. And then I also want to mention our events. In the fall we have Carowinds, and we have Great Pumpkin Fest for the little ones. And then now we just introduced Winterfest for the holidays. It's a completely different experience for Carowinds. It's so family-centered. It's an immersive holiday experience. We put more than 5 million lights throughout the park. Wow. It's completely transformed for the holidays, and that's the event that everyone can come and enjoy, from grandma down to the baby.
I love it. All right, so we go to Carowinds.com, is that correct?
So
you go to Carowinds.com. Again, we're just south of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Near Fort Mill, South Carolina.
So great place if you're driving, as we are kind of driving around.
Lots of people come by. So we've got lots of season pass holders who are locals, but lots of people pass through the area because this is sort of a centralized Eastern Seaboard location. And on their way to other places, they come and stop for the day, and they have a great time. Or even the weekend.
Awesome.
Stay at Camp Wilderness like you did.
Yeah, Camp Wilderness, which is it's a great option, too. If you want to stay right here near the property, there's great camping. Mm-hmm. We love the facilities over there.
Good.
So Lisa Stryker is a communications director with Carowinds here on the border between North Carolina and South Carolina. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks so much for
Amazing
coming.
park. Bring the family. You're going to have a great time. Two parks for the price of one.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Now, these days, our whole lives seem to be online. From online banking to social media to online shopping, we have a lot of accounts, and each of these accounts contains personal information. Now, it can be easy to lose track of what information is out there on your various accounts, but you can keep your personal information private by following a few simple guidelines. Make sure you share this podcast episode with family and friends, because it's actually very scary how much of your personal information is available right now. I want to make sure that you follow these 7 tips. Number 1, make your social media profiles private. Now, some social media profiles have sensitive information displayed, such as your birth date. Now, to ensure this, everybody wants to get told happy birthday, especially on Facebook. But here's the deal. You gotta make sure your social media, particularly on Facebook, is private. To ensure this information stays safe, edit the settings on all your social media profiles to the highest privacy setting so that only your approved friends and followers can see it. Make sure that all of your followers and friends on social media are trustworthy people that you actually know IRL in real life. Now, you should also be careful about what you post on your profiles, even if your followers all seem trustworthy. Man, we could spend a whole podcast episode all about that right there, but we'll stop because we got to continue on. Number 2, be careful with public Wi-Fi. Where public Wi-Fi is convenient, it's not always secure. If you're using public Wi-Fi, make sure that you're not logging into any sensitive accounts or giving out any sensitive information. Like, don't log into your bank on public Wi-Fi. Also, make sure that the Wi-Fi is coming from a trusted source. Now, one tool that I use, you want to get yourself a virtual VPN. There's a lot you can choose from. They could be very, very economical. One that I use is called Avast. And let me tell you how to get a really, really good deal on a virtual VPN. This is how I got a really good. This is no affiliate deal. I got no skin in this game. This is just how I got a hookup. So what I want you to do, there's a website that what they do is they share like really good tech deals on a regular basis. It's called stacksocial.com. Again, I got no relationship with them. But if you go to stacksocial.com, then what I want you to do is I want you to do a search for VPN. All right. And so if you do that, now I can't vouch for all of these different services, but there is a bunch of different VPN services that you can subscribe to. Generally, what you're going to find is that you can pay anywhere from, looks like about $15 all the way up to $80 for a lifetime VPN. It's a virtual private network subscription. So what I'd like you to do is go ahead and do your own research. Again, I use Avast, but there's a lot of other ones that you can choose from. Just make sure that you do your research, pick one that's got a lot of positive reviews, but do not use public Wi-Fi and transmit personal information. It's very, very easy to get hacked. Use a VPN when possible, but again, be very, very careful about doing stuff like personal banking and that sort of thing. Very, very risky behavior today. Let's move on. Number 3, protect your mobile devices. Your laptop. Oh, by the way, on the VPN, you can also, it's not just for your computer. You can put the VPN on all your other devices, and I do. The one that I have allows you to put it on, I believe, up to like 5 devices. So I've got my iPad, my iPhone, and my laptop computer all protected with VPN. All right. Speaking of which, number 3, protect your mobile devices. Your laptop, phone, and tablet all may have sensitive personal information stored on them. Lock your devices as often as possible and make sure they're password protected. This way, if your mobile devices get stolen, thieves can't easily access your information. Number 4, close old accounts. Keep track of all your online accounts and close the ones you're not using anymore. Even if the accounts seem trivial, it still might have some of your personal information stored on it. If an account of yours is dormant, you may not notice right away if it's been compromised, which can make it harder to fix the breach. Number 5, use a password manager. Seriously, I don't know how, if you're not using a password manager, I don't know how you do this. There's no way I could. I hope that you are not using the same password or maybe some variations on the same password for everything. Do not do that. That would be very, very risky in today's digital world. You really need to be using a password manager, and you really need to be setting ridiculously hard passwords and individually, like, different passwords for all of your services and subscriptions and websites, all your logins. It's a good idea to vary your password across all your online accounts. However, many people find it hard to remember all those different passwords. A digital password manager, I use LastPass. There's also 1Password. They're not expensive, generally about $10 a year. Money well spent. This program is going to remember all your login information for all of your online accounts. This way, you can have secure accounts while still being able to remember all of your passwords. So all you need to do is basically just remember 1Password. So it's like, Lord of the Rings, one ring to rule them all. You got one master password to remove them all. Now, here's this next one, and I'm going to be talking about this in the weeks ahead because this is such a big deal. When I did some research on this, I was shocked. And listen, my savings angel friends, if I am your consumer advocate friend, I cannot be more emphatic about what I'm about to share with you. Sign up for a privacy protection service or get ready to do a bunch of work yourself. You have to do this. Even when you're really careful with all your online accounts, it is the norm for your personal information to be compromised and indexed without your knowledge, without your permission. Right now, there are over 40 public directories that contain information like your name, age, phone number, age, race, sex, religious preferences, political preferences, value of your home, your kids' names, your kids' birthdays, your birthdays, arrest records, whether you got traffic tickets, bankruptcy, divorce. All that stuff right now is all over the web. It really is. Subscribe to this podcast. We're going to be talking about this in the weeks ahead. Okay. But what I want you to do, and I've done a lot of research on this, unfortunately, you could do it. It's a manual process. And I'm going to teach you in the weeks ahead how to delete this manually. Okay. There's only one service that I have found. And again, if you know of another one, please let me know. But most of them are very expensive. These are services that will actually protect your personal information and get it all removed from the web, from these public directories. There's only one that I found that is reasonably priced. It's called DeleteMe. You can go to savingsangel.com/DeleteMe, DELETEME. If you do that, okay, I'm going to make sure that you have access not just to the service itself. So they've got a level, and I want to say it's like $39, $49. Go check it out. Again, savingsangel.com/DeleteMe. And by the way, deleteme.com, that's not the web address for it. It's a long address. So just go to savingsangel.com/DeleteMe. What they're going to do is they're going to scour the web, find all your compromised information, all your quote unquote public data. And what they're going to do is when they find it, they're going to work to delete it for you so you can get your privacy back. Now, I actually reached out to their public affairs and said, can you help me serve my audience? So again, make sure you've hit subscribe on this podcast because I want to say next week or the week after, we're actually going to play an interview and he's going to explain exactly step by step how to go through, and we're going to provide a resource. We're going to provide a resource guide at Savings Angel, how you can go through and you can do this yourself, okay? Or again, if you want to work with DeleteMe, I think we're going to work out even like a discount. But use that link, and if there is any discount available, then that link is going to be the one that gives it to you. Okay, moving on. Number 7, finally, so our last one, use tricky answers to security questions. Security questions are meant to protect your online accounts, but the answers to those questions are often relatively easy to find with some research. So instead of answering the questions directly, do so in a roundabout way. For example, if the security question asks the name of your childhood dog, don't use the dog's real name as it appeared on vet records and registration. Instead, use a nickname you had for the dog that you only used around the house. This makes it nearly impossible for a thief to find that information. It's I hope you took notes on this. If you didn't, I want you to go to savingsangel.com right now. Find the article. Okay, you'll find it's entitled How to Protect Your Personal Information Online. Please, I implore you, share this information with friends and loved ones. Okay, we're just in an age where privacy protection, identity theft, it's a part of our everyday lives. It's a part of adulting. And it's really important that we look out for one another to make sure that we're all keeping each other safe. And keeping each other safe is absolutely part of living abundantly. Now, if you've loved hearing everything on this podcast, if you could take a minute and leave a 5-star review or a thumbs up in iTunes, in Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast app that you are listening to, hit the plus, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. It really, really makes a huge difference. I promise we're going to put all of our effort into always delivering the most critical, important information you need so that you can save more money, earn more money, live abundantly, protect you and your family. If you have any specific questions, there's something you'd like to hear me talk about, my crack team of researchers and we can get to work on, you could drop me a note in the podcast feedback. You can generally look in the notes right now in your podcast player. Just like scroll over or scroll down or whatever. Find where there's some links. Just click on that stuff. All right. You could join our private Facebook group. Just search Savings Angel in Facebook, or you can call our podcast hotline. It's 407-205-9250. That phone number really works, and you can leave us a voicemail. I'm going to answer your question, write you back, or with your permission, I might even share your question or story with others on this show. With that, have a wonderful week full of saving more, earning more, and living more abundantly. And thank you for listening. It's good advice.